This show is brought to you in part by viewers like you who joined a Patreon or become YouTube members. Thank you. And if you could, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
Look, we all know the Browns' offensive line is going through a lot of issues right now. DeJuan Jones out for the season. Jack Conklin day-to-day. They've really missed Jack Conklin, right? KT Leviston's been playing a lot of snaps here. Don't think any of us anticipated that. Cornelius Lucas has been playing a lot of snaps here. Don't think any of us anticipated that. So obviously, pass protection and stuff like that has been an issue. You add on top of that, week one, you're playing Trey Anderson, who was the sack leader last year for the Cincinnati Bengals. Week two, you're playing a very aggressive Baltimore Ravens defense. And in week three, you're playing Micah Parsons. So not only are you at your weakest with your offensive line, you're going against some of your toughest challenges, and that can be a very hard thing to overcome. But let's see how the Browns were able to meet the challenge or not meet the challenge. We're going to look at some pass protection reps for this team. I think there's a lot to talk about here. It's not going to be a long video. We're only looking at pressures. There weren't that many pressures in this game, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. You guys, super looking forward to it. But before I do that, let's make sure we thank our sponsors, Sleeper. Hey, guess what? The NFL season is finally here, and that means you've got a fantastic opportunity with daily fantasy football on the Sleeper app. Football has never been more exciting than it is now with players like CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, etc. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points and more for up to 100x payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right and you can win big. Use promo code WORSTTAKE and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Download the #1 sports app today and experience it for yourself. Also, remember that you can use the promo code WORSTTAKE and get up to $100 match on your first deposit. All right, let's look at the offensive line here. They gave up a few pressures in this game. Obviously, Joe Flacco was affected by it. We talked about it in the Joe Flacco breakdown. Let's see here. So first thing happens that you notice, Corn Lucas at left tackle, he gets beat. And, Corn has been the guy that I think they've been worried about the most because they've moved this guy from left to right to try to see what they can get from him. They're clearly expecting better from Corn Lucas, and they're just not getting it. He gets beat here pretty easily, right? That's pretty easy. It's Luca Van Ness beats him pretty easy. You got to provide more resistance than that, right? You look at everybody else, they're providing more resistance than that. Joe Bitonio doing a real good job. Look at that bunny hop from Joe. That's a real good job by Joe, right? Nice little bunny hop there. Joe playing a really good game. Ethan Posick, great job there helping. Wyatt Teller, good job there. KT Leviston, fine job there. Actually, KT Leviston, I take that back. Could be better from KT. But you can live with that, right? You can live with that. You can also ask Harold Fainen to give you a better block than that, right? A little better of a chip there. What you can't live with is, how many steps does he even get before he turns? 1, 2, turn. That's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. All right, let's get to the next play. So this is a 5-man protection. See if they keep Ford in here. Ford misses his chip, so already not off to a great start here. Ford misses his chip. This is decent. You can live with this. You can live with this. So let's look at Corn. We'll go down the list on the line here. So 71. He's going up against Micah. I'm going to be real with you. That's a pressure. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. That's Micah Parsons. It's gonna happen when you got Corn Lucas Jr. defending Micah Parsons. Not really much I could say there. Joel, great job by Joel. Again, this is the Joel we remember, man. Look at him riding that inside hip. Good steps there. Great game from Joel. See this double team for 55 and 77. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. 55-77 team up well here. Yeah, I mean, this held up about as good as it can hold up. Nice job by KT on the island here. And good job from Wyatt helping. Like this protection held up as good as it was going to hold up. Yes, that's a pressure. Yes, you have to make Joe Flacco step up. What Joe Flacco does, finds the throw. A little late, but finds it. I'm fine with that. That's good. 3rd and 4 here on the Cleveland 27 in the first quarter. Let's see what we get help-wise. So David Njoku helps on Micah. That ends up not being helpful. So here's the thing, right? David actually does get pretty solid contact here on Micah. Corn can't just watch it. I think that's what went wrong, right? Is that Corn kind of just watches David strike him instead of getting hands on him too. Like, get hands on him while David has hands on him as well. He's occupied. Get 4 hands on him. Don't just watch him. You don't got to take turns. There's not a rule against 4 hands, right? So when you don't do that, all you make happen when you watch David try to help you instead of like getting in there, all you make happen is you spring load Micah into a twist and shoot him up your A gap. And like Joe gets rid of that thing just in time. That's all you have happen there. Yeah, you got to get a hand on him. For those wondering, hey, why didn't the center roll over to help? That's not what the protection is, right? You know? So this is a half slide. They call it half slide because they're looking at it, right? 7's showing blitz. Okay, slide the line this way. So two jet to the left, right? You got the help there anyway. Another thing that might need to be discussed here is between 71 and 75. Hey, if we're splitting responsibilities here, what do we do in the twist? Are we rolling out here? Because if we are, he should be looking at that inside shoulder and feeling that from that tackle. I mean, not from that tackle, from that edge rusher, so that Joe can actually slide up and occupy Micah. So, yeah, this is just a bad play from 71. That's what it was. It's blown assignment there by 71. Good job, Joe, getting rid of the ball. All right, quarter 2, about 2 minutes left. There's another pressure here. All right, so again, Corn just gets beat here. It's Micah Parsons, and he doesn't get great help here. This isn't a great block by Dylan Sampson. Yeah, this is pretty bad. He just misses. It's kind of a welcome to the NFL moment, right? He thought he was going to get Micah there. It's a little bit more difficult, right? He's going to have to learn. There's some development that needs to be done there with Dylan, right? That's fine. Oh, my God. Look at it. Just disgusting bend here by Micah Parsons. So not only does he break free, but he could just break this angle off directly at Joe. Joe somehow feels that and gets rid of it. Does he complete that? He completes that. That's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, just freakish rep there by Micah. Not a great rep. That Joe, I don't think that's a great rep from. Not Joe. It's who's he helping there? Is that Poe? Wyatt. Yeah, Wyatt gets caught up with 95. He never picks that up. So Wyatt and Kate and Corn, not great here. Wyatt and Corn. Yeah, Wyatt's supposed to pick that up. All right. He gets rid of the ball. Completion anyways. Good job by Joe. All right, 3rd and 5 here. 58 seconds left in the second quarter. Pivotal part of the game. This is something this Browns offensive line has always struggled with, which is loops, twists, anything with movement. Joe just straight up misses this. Right? He's on 94. He sees it coming. He just mistimes it. Yeah, this is just Joe misses this. Good job by Joe. I mean, Joe getting that ball out and making something of that. That's a great play by Joe Flacco. But yeah, if you're wondering what happened in the protection, that's what happened. Joe's supposed to pick that up. He loops right into his gap. He just misses it. 4th and 8, late game. This is the deep ball. They get a pressure here, but that's fine. It's kind of by design almost because they move the pocket. And that turns into an interception. So far, first half of the game, I'm not overly concerned about the offensive line. It's not great, but it's not a disaster. You know what I mean? It's definitely fixable, and it definitely is repairable to a point. Let's see here. Third quarter, beginning of the third. Yeah, I wouldn't even feel comfortable calling this a pressure. He just kind of ran out of space. David does a good job here. But 20 does a good job filling. Or not 20. 23 does a good job filling. My bad. I'm tripping. That's 29. Yeah, 29 does a good job filling here. And they basically force Joe Flacco to make a decision. Either you're going to take this deep or you're going to take the intermediate. And he's sitting on the intermediate. So they're like, hey, Joe, do you think you could throw this ball on the run, deep, accurately? Force Joe to make the toughest throw possible, basically, is the game plan here. And Joe doesn't want to take that throw, even though it's there. It's absolutely there. But, again, Joe just 40-year-old Joe Flacco. I mean, like 35-year-old Joe Flacco, 25-year-old Joe Flacco. Not a guarantee to make that throw. So, it's probably a good bet to force Joe into situations where his options are, hey, make this really difficult throw. He's going to be hesitant there. If you're Joe and you want to avoid this, I mean, I don't really know because David's absolutely supposed to be the first read here. And then by the time you come off David to find Jerry, that safety's in. He's running into that safety zone. So there's not really much you could do here. All right, third quarter, 2:41 left. Let's look at the protection here. This is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Again, 71 gets beat a little easy here. Maybe that number's just cursed. Maybe that's it. Maybe if he changes his number to like 70. Is there any other number? Maybe 70. He'd play better. We're just getting Jed Wills flashbacks. And he just gets beat too easy here. That's really it. Even then, it's fine. You're able to get the play off. I mean, it's not fine, but, again, it's a backup tackle. I'm not going to criticize him like he's a top pick in a draft or anything like that. It's all right. Yeah, another play where Corn just gives it up too easy. It's way too easy. All right, we're in the fourth quarter now. Well, this time it's KT Leviston giving up an easy brush, but in his defense, it's one-on-one with Micah Parsons. I don't know what you expected, That's a tough assignment, right? So KT in a real tough position. Can't really blame him for losing there. You left him on an island with Micah Parsons. There's a lot of good tackles you want to do that with. Can't really do that. Not really even going to blame 72 for that. Like, that's just a horrific position they put him in. Here, this is fine. 71 gets beat by Micah. He's Micah Parsons. It's backup tackle. It's going to happen. But, yeah, this is fine. This still allows the play to get off. This is fine. Right? Like, you're okay with that. That's not bad for what the situation is. All right, I think this is the last pressure of the game. And again, he gives up a pressure here to Micah Parsons. We get the ball off, so good job by Joe managing that. But yeah, just gives up a pressure here. Leviston on the backside is play also not good on Rashawn Gary. But great pickup by Ethan, right? Like, Ethan picks that up. You see how Ethan picks that up here. Yeah, like, you would maybe want Corn to recover a little bit better here, but that's tough to do. Look at the bend from Micah. Micah's a beast. So, yeah. I think the Browns are running up against two problems. One, they're playing two backup tackles. Like, if they could get down to one backup tackle, I think they'd be in a much better spot. The second problem is that Cornelius Lucas is a bit more of a turnstile than anticipated, and that's becoming a real problem for this team. So I would bundle both of those things into problem one, right? So, injuries, two backup tackles, and one of your backup tackles is underperforming for what you would want from him. So that's problem number one that they're dealing with, right? Corn Lucas not really giving you the best football right now. KT Leviston's actually fine, but Corn, he's not giving you what you want right now. He's getting beat by like Luka Van Ness too easily. The stuff on Michael Parsons gets on him, whatever, but the Luka Van Ness stuff does bother me, right? So that's happening. The second thing that's going wrong for the Browns is that they're playing edges that can absolutely take advantage of that situation 100% right now. Micah Parsons, I don't really know what else the Browns could have done to game plan their way out of this. Like, what, are you going to keep 7 guys in when you're struggling to get separation with your wide receivers already, and then go up against like 7 DBs? Doesn't make sense. So you got to do something in the situation that the Browns are in. And there's just not a perfect answer here. And I thought they were fine with what they could do. The problem is, there's just no perfect answer when you're playing teams that have a premier edge rusher like a Micah Parsons. So I think when they're not playing teams like that, they'll look a lot better. But also Corn Lucas has been a real problem for this team too. So those are really the 2 things going wrong with the pass protection. Hopefully they can get healthier and be in a better spot to deal with this kind of stuff. But that's what's going on. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.